welcome back to Easy Spirit 101. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Let's get into Divine Collective reading for today. What do you guys need to know at this time? What does Divine Collective need to know at this time? Shadow work is highlighted for some of you. Whatever preferred method that you use for shadow work, there's something that needs to be looked at. Something that needs to be looked at and released. Yeah, emotions. This definitely has something to do with someone's emotions here. Something that hits close to home, something close to the heart, something specifically to do with the heart, something that may have happened in the home in the past. Yeah, someone here, again, someone is like not looking at this shadow work. The journal and the upright can literally, that is a form, whether you do that kind of shadow work or you do something differently, that is a form of getting to the root of the shadow work, of whatever the issue is. Something that is blocking someone's emotions from healing. Yeah, this is something that's keeping you kind of stuck in between your south node energy and your north node energy. It's a time for transformation. Again, this card here is like the death card in the tarot. Time for transformation. Something must come to an end. Yeah, this is like you, as much as y'all hate to hear it, sometimes this is part of the process, even when you've decided you want to give a hand at manifesting. Or whatever this is something different for everybody, but a lot of times there is a blockage when it comes to that. And I do see like a rebirth energy here, and it's specifically something to do with someone's emotions or hidden fears related to something maybe that happened in the past. Yeah, someone's like carrying around some sort of sorrow. I could be talking to a divine masculine, doesn't have to be. But this is something that's hidden. Someone's been carrying something around for a long time and not really taking the time to do the shadow work and look at it. And I really am getting something that this is something that happened in a home, like a childhood home, or a place that was supposed to meant to be a safe space. And whatever this was has a block. Someone closed off their heart chakra in that moment. So an issue could be deeply related to some sort of betrayal, some sort of issue of trust. So there's a rebirth. There's like a possible rebirth here. I could be talking to someone who maybe things often don't work out the way you hope they would, or maybe you often feel like you see some sort of poor results in some capacity. This is someone who very much unknowingly shut your heart chakra down, or situation shut someone's heart chakra down here. And now there's like hidden sorrow. And funny thing about that is sometimes, especially if this is way back and you've been carrying it and you've been learning these like coping skills of, I get back on my feet, I get back out there, I got stuff to do, I gotta go along with the grain, like with what everybody else is doing. This can be so far stuffed down that someone can't even recognize it anymore, or has become accustomed to some sort of like uncomfortable feeling that you just have learned to adapt. But this right here is a blockage, and it's the journaling in reverse. It doesn't have to be journaling, but that is a very effective way sometimes to kind of hit hit the nail on the head when trying to figure something out that might be a stoppage or a blockage to someone here. Right, again, rebirth energy. There's definitely some sort of rebirth, transformative energy that's trying to come through. And whoever you are, the fact that this energy is coming out, you're close enough to be aware or like be looking at this. It's time to kind of isolate whatever it is and look at this. Look at this and put an end to it. And heal something here, release something. The best way to move forward in the way that you hope to move forward. This moon keeps coming out. Someone here is not looking at something they need to look at, and yet this issue is so very much affecting someone's ability to move along and proceed. Someone could have even lost a loved one that was close to them when they were younger and never really learned how to process that. I could even be talking to a masculine energy who maybe this was a feminine that this person lost once upon a time. A feminine energy that meant a whole lot to them and comforted them. And for some of you, more specifically, this is a more challenging issue to touch on. Sometimes these things are brought in from a past life. It could be several lifetimes ago. Something wounded the heart space, and then this person just carried it and carried it and carried it and never looked at it. And if you happen to think that maybe is your case or your situation, the best way to approach that is look at what's triggering you in this lifetime, because whatever this is, there's hints at. And quite often when you have a past life wound that you've been carrying for that many lifetimes, obviously this is not going to connect or resonate with all of you, but that's fine. For someone here, it is going to be specific. A lot of times when you have been carrying a wound that is blocking you for that many lifetimes, it's very often that your guides will make you aware of something that has deeply triggered you, that has caused you to shut your heart space down. Yeah, whoever you are, you do have some sort of access. You have access to what's known as the Akashic Records, which is like the access to know things that affected you and your soul, past, present, and future. Less likely future energy, but that can mean multiple lifetimes. And for some of you, this is just something that happened when you were younger, specifically. For someone specifically, I'm getting something here might have happened at school or when being in school, or just that age, when you're like school age. Someone feels like they had to be strong. So someone here might have been like bullied in school. Someone might have been bullied for the way they think, their different way of thinking, the different kind of ideas they have, or maybe their curious nature. Someone was very like energetic and outgoing, and kind of getting someone who was very freely like, I'm willing or wanting to hang out with all these different varieties of people or groups, or just casually went up to anyone and said, hey, I want to talk to you about that. And someone here received like backlash in the process. This is something here that affected someone very deeply when they were in a vulnerable age or state. I'm also getting that someone could have been bullied for something they had to do with their mom or their mother as well, or a feminine, strong feminine energy in this person's life. Yeah, someone became very blocked and stuck with lots of page energy out here. Again, healing is being pointed at. So this is something that someone might need to sit down with a journal, or maybe you even go see a professional. You get something out with like therapy sessions, something like that. Whatever it means or whatever it takes for you to do some sort of shadow work is very much needed here. Someone here does not feel comfortable in their own skin at this point because of this, because you've been carrying this energy along for such a long time, having this like, I need to pick myself back up and get on with it. You might even had someone forcing you. Maybe you were very sensitive, especially with this Page of Cups energy coming out here. You might have been someone who was very sensitive and very free. You're very free and you're very open-minded when it comes to others. So this very much would wound you. It's possible for someone specifically, someone could go to school and that would happen, and they would come home and their parents would be like, get on with it, toughen up, you know, that kind of thing. Something this was affecting this person very deeply, and then maybe a parental figure was kind of brushing it aside or making it diminishing the feelings or whatever was going on with their kid is something that's kind of coming through here. This person feels like, or whoever this is, this reading is for, feels like this situation or this blockage here, you being shut down when you were younger, has long-lasting effects. Like someone feels like they are not able to step into the position they wish to be in life because of this. Like this blockage is what has affected this individual. Also, whoever you are, you've got too much focus. As far as law of attraction goes, you've also got too much focus on whatever this is, especially when it comes to like your finances or something like being disciplined with your finances. The more you've been like hard on yourself or however this is coming through, the worse it's kind of spiraling. It's giving you more of what you don't want rather than more of what you do want. Someone here I feel like is stuck kind of, yeah, Four of Pentacles. Someone here is stuck in kind of a vicious cycle. Again, shadow work is very important or needed, because someone here is like, I'm almost getting, they're in a trap. They're in a cycle. You're not aligned with who you feel like you are in your heart. In your heart of hearts, someone might have moved into a position where like you feel like you're living for someone else. You could even be someone who you keep sabotaging yourself, self-sabotage, and you don't even know why. You don't even know why at this point. Shadow work confirmation. The moon has come out so many times. Someone here really should take some time in solitude and reflect on anything. If this reading is triggering someone or is making sense to someone very, very deeply in some way, then this is your cue or clue to do something here. This could be this for someone. I feel like this is blocking the kind of stability or finances someone wishes they had. Whatever this issue is. King of Pentacles. Someone could really have a strong earth sign placement here. Right. This is pointing at this energy again, that someone here, maybe you feel like you are this person, but you may have been on this track instead, and you're constantly feeling torn in between different kinds of emotions, different feelings, different directions. It has to do with allowing yourself. Someone here might be like living their life for someone else. This keeps strongly coming through. Or maybe once upon a time it started that way. Bound here, breaking free from some sort of karmic cycle or patterns. Your guides are trying to get your attention here with this. So someone here is on the verge. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting two things. That someone here is on the verge of a very unpleasant tower if you continue to go forward the way you're going without turning inward and trying to do something differently, trying to change up this energy, trying to find a way to break free of this pattern, doing something the way somebody else always wants you to do it. There could be some sort of feminine energy involved. There could be a divine feminine energy involved. Someone here also has been kind of molded. Someone here has been molded into an energy of focusing on, with this Four of Pentacles, like focusing too much on finances and the material, when really you're being guided to go back to that person that you once were, who was very open and accepting of all different kinds of people. Maybe you wanted to be friends with everyone, and you were very curious, and you wanted to, you know, play this game with these guys and go over here and see what these guys were reading or talking about, or whatever this is, and look back at that person, because that's the person that you're needing. That's like your inner child here, that it's kind of like waving at you and trying to get your attention. That's the energy you should be feeding at this time, rather than whoever or whatever this energy is, where you've started to do things the way someone else told you to do them, or fell into line. This energy in the beginning where a parent might have been like putting down a kid, like, you do it the way I say you do it. Something like that here is what's, yeah, reflection here. I'm also getting an issue, that energy where someone kind of like molded someone into being more like them, instead of honoring this person for who they were as a person on the inside, had to do a lot with reflection, projections. Someone here projected a lot onto some sort of like a child or a family member, and molded this person, possibly whoever this divine masculine is, molded this person into someone else's projections, which again, you're talking about it. Just as I say that, this is a third-party energy. What we're talking about is third-party energy. And just as I say that, distractions. Something about this person, maybe this person, you would start, whoever you are, you would get on the right path. You would start living for yourself, and this person would distract you and put another, well, yeah, that sounds good, but have you thought about this path? So it's some sort of energy like that is part of what this person kept projecting themselves onto another individual, and now this individual has been living life for someone else, or as someone else, or as someone else has requested them to be. So at this point, it's about kind of standing in your own power and living life for yourself. That could be this sorrow, this hidden sorrow that came out at the beginning, has been pushed and pushed and pushed. That sorrow comes from not really living life as your own self, or who you're meant to be living life as. And now we keep having this issue. Maybe someone's going through an awakening here. Maybe someone went through an experience with the divine feminine that is causing someone here to look at themselves and look at, why is this happening this way? Yeah, separation, longing, confirmation here. So someone here might have met like a soulmate or something, and this is very triggering. This has got someone reflecting, like, what is happening? Why did this turn out like this? Why do I feel this way? What's going on with my heart? Someone here, you may have been going with a blocked heart chakra for so long, and something has been triggered, something has been opened. And again, this has come out again, and the moon has come out several times. Whoever you are in need of, you need to go in there. You need to look at the dark night. You need to reflect on yourself, especially if you're someone who's been living for other people, or saying yes. Someone keeps saying like yes ma'am to somebody else. Something here has been triggering someone. Freedom, leap. There's like confirmations all over here. Someone here needs to take some time for yourself. Shut everyone else out. Just you, God, a piece of paper if you need to, or your Bible, and or all of the above. And you can get in there and do that shadow work and reflect and talk to yourself, and yourself only. There's whatever you're looking for is on the other side of this. Whatever you're looking for is on the other side of that. And here we have this again. Someone feels like guilty, or something about, why did I sabotage something, or longing for something. Confirmation again. Self-love. Self-love here. This is about standing in your power. This is about doing that shadow work. This is about, how do I honor who I really am as a person and stop being what somebody else told me to be. What else does Divine Collective need to know about this situation, about this reading? Something about patience. Something's going to work out perfectly with your patience. Balance and peace are going to be restored when it comes to a situation, or when it comes to you, especially if you move forward with progress. Right, so something, this, I feel like this has, whatever this triggering situation, something was sweet once upon a time, and now somebody feels like something is coming back to bite them, or something went sour. Somebody somehow, maybe you loved a feminine at one point, or some sort of soulmate came through, and once upon a time the love was vibrant, and then some sort of chili, somebody's got like a chili, somebody became like the Queen of Swords here. Cannot break the ice, so you don't know how to move back forward towards this person, but the clouds are lifting, especially if you keep moving forward. If you keep going forward in the right direction, you will get some sort of lucky break that's going to be like wish fulfillment here. And again, there's a heavy message or energy to look at your shadow work. Do some sort of shadow work here. It's probably going to cause some sort of movement. This fell out on its own, heart chakra. Someone here has a major heart chakra blockage stemming back from a long time ago that needs to be addressed to unblock whatever this is that you wish to be unblocked. Your wisdom, that is wisdom here. Making sense of something. If you keep going in a direction and it's not working, not working, doors not opening, and nothing's working out right, it's because something hasn't been made. You didn't accept something here. You didn't heal something here. There's something here to be looked at. I'm also getting, whoever this is, you don't want to look at it for some reason. Somebody doesn't want to look at something. But again, the energy came out as well of someone kind of slapping someone's hand and saying, get with the program, you know, that kind of thing. So I think that might be why you've kind of been trained not to look at something, for whoever that's for. There's progress to be made. You can still have what it is that you're hoping to have. Let go of control with this Four of Pentacles out here. Someone here may be controlling another individual. I don't know if they're still doing this currently, or it's just this energy that this person grew up in. Your shadow work is to help you kind of release that rigid training. That's like someone put some sort of, someone here like trained their child or family member to act and respond a certain way, and that's not actually it's not actually specific to who you are and what you need as a person, because you're not, at the end of the day, sometimes we're very different people from our own parents, our own siblings, our own whoever, family members. Even though we're related, that does not mean we're the exact same. Someone here is a Sagittarius. Someone in this situation has Sagittarius, is a Sagittarius. There's heavy like fire energy coming through. This is part of your life purpose for some of you, is to help make sense of whatever this is, to overcome some sort of serious major blockages that have been affecting specifically your creativity, possibly, as well as I'm getting like connecting, getting that divine guidance of which direction to go into, or how to achieve something, how to break the ice in a situation. Yeah, hearing this guidance. This is what I was just saying. Also able to hear the guidance. Someone here has forgiveness in reverse. Someone here needs to exercise forgiveness towards someone, possibly even some sort of Sagittarius. Enlighten your heart. That's going to be step one to kind of unhinging this heart chakra. This stone, like somebody has a very serious heart chakra blockage. One more, please. Right, cleanse and detoxify. Confirmations on confirmations. I hope you guys got some sort of confirmation, clarity out of this reading, or you just enjoyed the reading, and I will see you again next time.